Good evening and welcome back to my water rails world. So since the last video I've done a few things to the world. First of all, I've been building out the main bus, so we have a lot more things in red belts. There are now 3 iron smelters which run intermittently and 2 coppers which similarly run intermittently. My starting iron patch is completely died and my starting copper patch is very nearly gone, but luckily I was able to get out and put out some outposts. So I've got this nice big copper mine here which is mostly idle at the moment because I'm not consuming very much copper. There's a sort of spaghetti arrangement here to fill the train. I couldn't be bothered to try and by hand do balances and things like that, so anyway, it works because it's mostly dealing with downtime. The little offloading train station here has grown, so it now has stone, iron and copper. And there's a rather ugly arrangement here to load 3 belts from 12 chests. So that's running. I did put in an early iron outpost. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. That was nearly 300k of iron. That just melted. That's gone away. I need to retire this train and ripple this up, or I'll probably just wait till I have bots to retire this. I'll retire the train and I'll add it to the pool of trains which are mining this nice 9 million patch here. So I've currently got 2 trains servicing this, but a third one wouldn't go amiss. These chests are buffering. They're not buffering up to a full train load. I think there's issues with throughput here, as you can see. At some point I'll get round to fixing this. I'll probably add some chests the opposite side, so I've got twice as many places for the ore to load into. I think that will probably fix it. So what else have I done? So I've been putting in walls, basically. This sort of arrangement with a pot at the end with a pool of ammo and then a belt feed to a line of turrets and a radar so that I can see what's going on. As I've been doing this, I've been discovering that various patches of land that I assumed went off into the wilds actually are little self-contained peninsulas. So there's this big patch of nasty biters here, not in radar range. And they're dense enough and have enough worms that I can't kill those by turret creep. So I've just walled them in for now. You can see a couple of turrets left over from my last turret creep, which I kind of lost. So this is walled off, this is walled off. This area here, I don't actually know where it goes yet. But you can see it loops all the way around here and almost joins up with my base again. It might even loop around the back. I've got another peninsula here which has been uncovered. I cleared all of the biters which were near the wall. If we just look at pollution. So these are intermittently being touched by pollution. When they are, they run across. They either get taken out by a turret, which is here on a little craggy outcrop, or by the ones on the wall. That seems to work. So what next? Well, I was building out science. I had red, green, military, and let's go down, blue. And that was fine. I thought I'd add purple. And when I was adding purple, I didn't bother to actually look at what was going on. So I've ended up with this ridiculous situation where I fed the blue and purple onto a shared belt. Unfortunately, I already had a belt sharing blue with military. So I now have this sort of ad hoc sushi belt of purples and blues, which is a bit sad really. And there's no obvious fix for this because I'm loading onto this mixed belt. So I'm wondering if the solution here is to make this into a blue-purple science belt. And then where I was merging in with military, to duck the military underneath and attach that to gold science. I think that's what I'm going to have to do, and then that means me draining off some belts manually and loading them all back in again. I also need to sort out the belts here. I just threw down a 2-belt 4 science solution initially, but now that I'm going up to 3 belts, I'm going to have to do some underground, overground belt magic to make all this work. But it should be fine. Anyway, that's where I'm up to. Fingers crossed I'll have gold science done quite soon, because I'm just about to make some sulfur. So you need sulfur to make sulfuric acid. The sulfuric acid then allows you to make batteries and blue circuits. And it's the batteries and blue circuits I need for gold science. So what I'm probably going to do is something slightly unorthodox. Over here is my refinery site, and it's a way away from everything. I could run a couple of lines of iron and copper in from here, sideways up the map, but that's a bit too spaghetti even for me. So I think what I'm going to do instead is run a line of sulfur in. I'll run it parallel to the plastic, and then when it gets here, I'm going to run it down the lane which would be blue circuits, and then around about here I'll pull it off, and then I'll be able to pull out some copper and iron, make the sulfuric acid and the batteries, then slightly lower down pull off red, copper and iron, make some blue circuits. The blue circuits can then go into the gap left by me pulling off the entire line of sulfur to make sulfuric acid. The other option, if I then need sulfur in future for making explosives, for example, there are some explosives which require sulfur, is that I would run it in this empty lane which used to have plastic in. So the plastic lane could become a sulfur lane for the sake of explosives if I need to do that. There'll be people screaming at this point saying I need plastic for rockets. This isn't ever going to be a bus which supports rockets. As soon as I get to the point where rockets are a possibility, I'm planning to set up a dedicated rocket parts site, because this bus just won't support it. I've got not enough smelters, there's not enough materials coming in. So yeah, really I'm only getting to the point of getting all 6 sciences up and running here. If we go back to the full map, I'm in a bit of a bind really. So I've got lots of uranium patches, which is handy. I've really got no other way to make electricity. Because the land is so small, I could do patches of solar panels, but they would very much be patches rather than solar panel fields. They won't be that tiling the world with solar that sometimes you see. So yeah, I'll probably fill in solar where I can, but it looks like this map is going to be one that forces me into nuclear. The other thing is, as soon as I have lasers and construction bots, I'm going to have to go out and clear out these dead-end patches of land, and I'm also going to have to start going out and prospecting, because the my 8.5 and my nearly 10 million patches of ore are nice, but they're not really an end game solution, and there are no other patches, sizable patches of any ore on the visible map. I know from past experience that if you go far enough out, you find what you're looking for. The problem is, as you can see, this map is so full of water, it's not really clear how you would go out other than by filling a train with landfill and just ploughing a path in a direction by landfilling enough space to lay tracks. Anyway, that's where I'm up to. I will probably get back to this. It may not be till after Christmas now, because family and travelling. Thank you very much for watching. If I don't see you before, have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year. And don't get divorced because you're playing Factorio. Bye.